Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we'll try to understand how to trigger an email notification through event in ServiceNow. So there are multiple ways you can trigger the notification in ServiceNow, and triggering the notification through event is also one of the way through which we can send the notification to any user or any group, or we can customize whom to send, and we can send the notification through an event. So let's get started and we'll try to understand how can we trigger the notification through event. So first I want to let you know what do you mean by event. So event means something happened, something occurred. So if something has happened, we have to refer that and we need to send the notification part of it. Okay guys, so let's try to understand what is the procedure to send a notification through event. So for that, first you need to create event registry. Okay, in event registry you have to register your event. So ServiceNow is having a lot of event, right? So how ServiceNow will recognize that specific event what you want, right? So for that you have to register your event, and after that you have to create a email notification as per your requirement, like what you want to send, to whom you want to send. So all this configuration you have to done in email notification, and then you have to trigger that event, right? So you have registered the event. Now it will not trigger automatically, you have to trigger that event. So for that you have to use gs.event queue. So by using gs.event queue you can trigger the notification, but you have to write this gs.event queue in server side script. So you can write this event gs.event queue in any of the server side script, like workflow script include or business rule, UI action. You can trigger event from any kind of server side script. Okay, and we are having one workflow activity also, create event activity. So you can use that workflow activity and you can trigger the event. Okay, so now I just want to let you know what is gs.event queue. So gs.event queue is System server side API. So this is one of the API of Glide system, and we use this gs.event queue to generate events in server side script. Okay, so whenever we have to generate the event, we have to use gs.event queue in server side script. So what it does, it will insert an event into event queue. And now we'll try to understand what is the syntax. So here I have highlighted the syntax. So you have to use gs global object dot event queue. Okay, so gs is the server side default object, we are aware of that, and we have to use this gs dot event queue, and we have to pass some of the parameters. Okay, so first we have to pass the name of that event which we have registered, and then you have to pass any of glide record object. You can pass gs, you can pass current. Okay, so you have to pass glide record object, and then you have to pass parameter 1 and parameter 2. So in parameter 1 and parameter 2 you can pass anything, and you can use this param 1 and param 2 into notification. Okay, and last and fifth parameter is optional. Okay, you can use it if it's required, you can pass some of the parameter, and if it requires you can use it or you can leave it. It is up to you totally. So now let's try to navigate to our personal instance and we'll try to implement one of the use case. So here I have provided you some of the example. You can refer and you can understand what can you do, what kind of notification you can trigger using event. So first we are going to implement, once incident record is created into ServiceNow, we have to trigger the notification to any particular team. So they can identify, okay, so incident has been created into ServiceNow. Now we have to assign, we have to start working on this incident, right? So for that, we can trigger the notification on the event of incident creation. So, concerned team can take care of it. And we are having some of the example. First, we'll try to implement first example, and then we'll try to understand how can we implement others. Okay. So let's go to our personal instance. Okay. So first, what we have to do is we have to create a record in the event registry, right? So you can type events here, And under system policy you are having events. Under that you have registry, you have to click on that, and you have to create record in event registry. So you can click upon new. So this is the event registration page. So you have to provide the event name. So I am providing incident created record. As we have to trigger this event once incident is inserted into ServiceNow. Okay, so table will be incident table, right? So we have provided incident table, and we have to provide fired by which component. So we are firing this event through business rule. So we can provide here business rule. Okay, and if you want you can provide the same description. So this is done. These all are not required, so I'm just submitting it. Okay, so now you had created event registry. Now we have to create a notification. Okay, so you can go to the notification under system definition, and we are going to create notification. So we can define to whom this notification has to send, what should be the content of this notification, and when to send this notification. So everything we are going to define it here. So this notification has to be sent once incident is created. Okay, so here you have to provide the notification name. So I am providing send an email on incident creation. Okay, and table name, which is incident table, right? So whenever any incident is being created we have to trigger the notification. And send whenever our incident gets fired. So we have to select event is fired. Okay, and you have to select the event name. So our event name was incident created, right? What was our event name? Okay, created incident record. So we have to select that, created. Okay, so here it is. So we have selected our event name. Now what we have to do is, who will receive this email? Okay, so here we have to send the notification to the caller, right? So we will select user and group in field, and here we are going to select caller and to a particular group, right? So we are going to create a demo group to whom we are going to send this notification. Okay, demo group. Okay, and now what should this email contain? So it should contain the number of that incident. So this is by using dollar you can define, you can paste the number, so it will paste the number of that incident. And here I want to write incident has been created. Okay, and here I am going to define hi team. Again I need to use dollar number. So this is the incident number has been opened. Please get it assigned to concerned team. Okay, so here we have defined the content. We are going to submit it. We are good with the notification, and now we are going to create a business tool to trigger this notification. Okay, Okay, I'm taking advance in first, and here I'm providing send email once incident created. Okay, and I'm selecting table as incident table. Okay, so when we have to trigger the notification, so after this incident record get inserted into ServiceNow, right? So we need to select after insert. Nothing much is required to do here. And in advance, we have to use cs.event queue to trigger that event. So in advance, we are going to write our code. So we are not doing much of the customization, just we are triggering this notification right through event. So we are not going to do much, but you can do a lot of customization here. You can provide some condition, and a lot of things can be done using script, right? So you can do that. Here I am providing the event name. Okay, and after that you have to provide the glide record object. So I'm providing the current, and here this param1 and param2 you can provide anything. Okay, so basically param1 and param2 you can send any detail to the email from here, and you can use it in the notification. So let me show you that. So you can define anything as per your requirement what you need in the notification side. So you can define here state current dot state. You can define here current. So it will fetch the information from the incident table, right? And if you want to use it here, go here and check. So you can use it here. So you have here param1 contains recipient, so you can define recipient over here in param1. Okay, maybe on param2, so I'm defining here assigned to. And what you can do is you can check this, or maybe if I have defined this current dot assigned to in param2, so I can check one, so it will contain event param2 contains recipient, so it will send the notification to the assigned to also. And if you want to use that param1 and param2 in advanced condition of notification on anywhere, so you can fetch, here you can have current dot number, current dot incident number, or you can have any detail and you can use it on notification side. And if you don't want to provide it, that is also fine. This param1 and param2 is optional. If you don't want to provide anything, you can make it null and you can save it. Okay, so here I have to put dot, and now I'm going to save it again. So we are done with the configuration. Now we have to create a incident to test it. So let's create a new incident. So here caller I am selecting away tutor. Okay, and this is the mandatory field, so you can provide. I'm providing test demo, and it is not required to select that assignment group here. Like whenever any end user creates the incident, they do not select the group, whether it is automatically assigned to some of the group according to our configuration, or concern team look into it. They will get a notification or something, and then they will get it assigned to some assignment group. Okay, so just we have to provide the mandatory field, and we have to just submit it. Now we'll go to activity, right? Not activity, emails log, and we'll try to check whether email has been triggered to caller and assignment group or not. Okay, so you could see here Let me open it. Okay, so there's one already, some event has been configured, so this has been triggered as part of that, and this is triggered as part of our event. Okay, so here you could see recipient is, so recipient is our Twitter, he is the caller, but it doesn't trigger to the group because we have not added anyone into our group, right? So first we need to add some of the user in that group, then that, or we have not added any DL or something in that group, only we have created the group. So whether we can add some group email here or we can add some of the group members here. Okay, then it will trigger to notification to the user or the group email. Okay, so let's do something. So we'll take Abraham Lincoln email ID and we'll put it as a this group email ID. Okay, okay, and now let's try to create one more incident and we'll check our emails. Okay, so now we can select anything here. Okay, and now we can submit it. Okay, so this incident has been created. Now let's navigate to emails. Okay, it takes a bit of time. So let's see here. So you can sort it basis on created. So we could see, so this two email has been created as part of this incident. You can see the incident number as well. So now let's open both of them. So this one we have not given the subject line, right? We had given only incident has been created. So we have to focus on incident has been created, this one. So if we come down, you could see here this Abraham Lincoln, we had given this email ID as part of that group. So it has been triggered to him, and this is our caller ID. So this email has been triggered to caller ID as well as the group, right? So this is how you can configure the email notification through event. So let's navigate to this slide and try to understand some more example. So whenever priority gets changed on problem record or any of the table incident record, it should trigger the notification. So we don't have to do much here. We try to change in the existing configuration and will trigger the notification once priority gets changed. Okay. So let's do it for incident only. Okay. So let's go to notification, and in notification business rule event. So I'm opening everything and I'm just going to modify existing one and I'm going to trigger the notification through event. So here this is already written on incident table, right? So I'm just going to change the name. So here incident created incident record, I'm just changing it to priority. Okay, just to show you how can you do this kind of configuration. So event name has been changed, right? So come to notification. Okay, so we have to select our event name. So let's go to priority incident record. So we have selected our event record, and here now we can save it. Okay, let's change something in here. We can take assign to also. Okay, assignment group and assign to. Okay, lock it. You can remove this demo group if you want, and if you want to send notification to this group, you can let it be like this. What will contain? So here we have to change incident priorities has been changed. Okay, and we can show the, if we know the backend the value of the priority, we can show that also. So here priority. Okay, so we are showing the priority, like what is the previous priority and what is being. So priority has been changed to, you have to give, you have to paste the information same way, right? So you can give the backend value of priority, and here you can do the same thing. So I'm just changing. Okay, all right, now we can save it. And now what we have to do, the modification in the business rule, let me tell you. So this is the business rule which we have created for our previous scenario. Now what we have to do is we have to add one condition in when to run. Here if you want you can change the subject line also. Send email once incident priority change. Okay, and here you can add after update. Okay, because our priority, once we have created the incident with some of the priority, then only we are going to change the priority, right? So at the time of creation, we can select only one priority, and after that only we can update the incident with some different priority. So wait, we have to run after update. Okay, and here we have to take one more condition: priority changes. Then only we have to trigger this event, right? Priority changes. Okay, so we are done, and we have to change the event name here. Okay, we are good. I am keeping it null, not required any parameters. So, so we are done. Now we can save it, and we can try to change the priority of this incident. Okay. So here, what is the priority? Let's see. Okay, so here priority is 5, planning. Now we are going to do it as a 3, which is moderate, and we are going to update it. Work note, we have to provide some. So we have to update it. Sorry. And let's navigate to emails. Okay, so you could see here our event has been triggered and notification has been sent part of that event. So you could see this is our event which we had changed, and this is the notification. So as part of this notification, email has been triggered, and what we had defined in subject, you could see here priority has been changed to moderate, and you could see to whom it got sent. So here we are not having any assignment group or assigned to, right? So it has been sent to the, we had selected demo before, right? So this is the, and I think we had not changed that, right? Let me check. Okay, so demo group, it has been triggered to demo group DL and caller, and we have not filled any assignment group or assigned to, so it has not been triggered to them. And in the same way, you can take in the business rule where we had taken, let's go here. So event to run, right? So we had taken priority changes. So you can take assignment group changes, state changes, or any parameter you can take. And here we are having so many, things like changes to something you can define. It's same you can define, and this can be defined in script also, right? We have changes to, changes from, we have this kind of methods, right? Changes to, changes from, so you can use that, and you can define in condition also. So I hope now it is clear. Now you are able to send a notification through event. And I want to let you know one more important point which I forgot to add. So you can check, you have event log also, you can check the event log, like what all you have trigger some notification as part of event, so you would be able to see whether that event has got triggered or not. And here you have param 1 and param 2, so you can check whether whatever param 1 and param 2 you have passed, those are reflecting correctly here or not. So you can refer this event log and you can check all this information.